Upper intake manifold is going on today. Hopefully I don't get electrocuted. So, it almost knocked the intake off. Yeah, I put a car together and what is going on? Hello and welcome to Gearhead 704. I'm Matt and you can probably see behind me, that's not my truck. I don't own a truck. But the reason why the truck's there is we're doing a little bit for the SSP today, which is also right behind me. The rear end is finally, I'm taking it with me. We're going to do a full rebuild on it at Fox Mustang Restoration. I'm headed over there now, but the bulk of the video is actually going to be about finally getting the GT40 intake installed on the car completely. Just got to get the upper on today, hook everything up. Hopefully it'll fire up. Hopefully it'll be good to go. Got the new throttle body in. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, this has been basically the bulk of my content for the last few videos. And I'm gonna actually create a playlist. So hopefully the playlist is live. If it is, I will put it down in the link in the description below. But if not, you can certainly check out those videos on my page. Just go right to my YouTube page and those videos will be there. But anyway, first thing I gotta do is get the rear end in the car, and my neighbor Mike is nice enough to not only let me borrow the truck, but to also help me get the rear end in the back of the car because it's pretty heavy. So let's go ahead, get that done, and then we'll get going to Fox Mustang Restoration. All right guys, so I'm back in a familiar place. The car is right here where you saw it last. Upper intake manifold is going on today. It's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. At least that's the intention. I really want to because I'm kind of ready to move on to the SSP. As you guys know, I do have the rear end in the back of the truck, like I told you. So what we are doing right now is, actually check this out. I finally have PCV valve system. Where is it? Here, there's my PCV valve. And so I've got to put the screen and the grommet down there. This grommet's pretty cool. It's actually a Ford part, which is much better than those aftermarket parts when you can get them, you know. So that's going in, and I'm gonna do that real quick. And the other thing, I'm also gonna go ahead and give this one more vacuum just to make sure that nothing else is falling in there. We'll get these guys out here in a little bit. We'll probably leave the paper towels here just while we're working over in this area. And I've got a couple of coolant hoses I've got to get on, and I have a feeling this one right here is going to be pretty tough to get on, but I'm going to go ahead and try it anyway. As you guys know, I'm not a certified mechanic or shade tree mechanic or any kind of mechanic other than a learning mechanic. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So the PCV valve system that I'm hopefully is going to solve all my problems, at least my oil burning problem, is in the back of the lower intake here. And putting the screen in, and well, it just dropped right in. Now the grommet. It's gonna be tough to show you guys this one, but basically what we're looking at here, this hose right here, it's gonna need to turn and go right there. So I'm actually gonna try, Matt suggested a little bit of dielectric grease, so I'm gonna put that on then and there. By the way, if for some reason you guys haven't been following the series, Matt at Fox Mustang Restoration here is the guy helping me kind of figure out what to do on this build. He's kind of instructing me, so, right, not kind of, he is. All right, I've almost got those hoses on, but just real quick, guys. I've shown this car before. This car is known as Peaches, and this is an original SSP, former Georgia Highway Patrol, and there's actually a new build coming to the channel soon. At least we're gonna document it. They're doing it out right here. And I wanna get it while it's still daylight, because it's gonna get dark soon. Out here in the Fox Mustang Restoration Boneyard. But yeah, this one is what he is gonna build next, and he's gonna sell this. And this is kind of the twin to that car up there, the automatic. And I think this one's an auto too, yep. So this one is known as Cream. That one's Peaches. Georgia's big on peaches, so you got, you know, peaches and cream. But Matt has big plans for this one, and I'm probably gonna basically tear the whole car apart. All the interior is gonna come out, motor's gonna come out, so stay tuned for the channel for that. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to work on my car. Yeah, I saw that on the, the car out there.
Yeah, this you just need to get out of the way. And you see how this arch right here, it goes right behind that intake.
Okay.
Right behind this little high rise that wraps around. Then they're just gonna lay right down here. And this one, like I said, you do have to tuck
in between there.
In between, you gotta get this whole harness
I wonder if it's going to be a little tougher with this guy.
Yeah, well, this is not bolted down yet either, so you got a little bit of wiggle room here. But just fish this between there and this will go right here.
Okay. Okay. All right, just a little update for you guys. It's kind of hard to see some of this stuff with the camera I've got here, and this was basically covered already in the part where we took the intake off. But what we've done so far is on this side right here, I've just taken my wiring harness and kind of laid it right here. This is going to be the connector under to the distributor, and this one's capped off. Oh yeah, I think that's for the spout connector when you are actually setting the timing. I believe that's what that is. Of course, these are just my injectors, got to plug those in. And then I'm trying to get this wiring here past the coolant rail. So yeah, nothing really major right now on the how-to stuff. It's kind of just simple, but it's a little bit tough to show you guys. So I'm just running through that. Oh yeah, I did get the hoses on for the coolant. So those are right here, top and bottom. All right guys, so we're actually getting the wiring harness where it should be originally. Mine was kind of like zip tied together and not really in the right spaces. So this time we're doing it right. But Matt, you're telling me about these sensors here. This is TPS, and what's the other one?
Yeah, this is for your TPS, which is the throttle position sensor, and this one right here is for your EGR position sensor. Okay. Both are inputs to the computer. The biggest thing is when you're running this harness, you really can't do it with the heater hoses on. So while we had the heater hoses off, we went ahead and ran that between those two pipes. That's why this upper pipe kind of bends up.
Yeah, it looks like there's a notch there. Yeah,
there's a flare. You'll notice on this pipe there's two flares. There's the first one to seal and the second one to stop the hose, and that's what all this extra room is for. Is for this harness to go through.
This hook straight up.
Right, and then after you got it laid into place, you know, it wraps around to the back of the intake, and they just lay right down, and you can see that they're right there where the injectors are. Right in the spot, right in the place where they're supposed to be. So it's that much easier. You just, you know.
See, this was the original design intention. Check it out, guys. We've actually got some real lighting here so you can actually see what I'm doing. I know it's been so dark. So now we got some good lighting. Just plugging all the injectors in, and I'll plug up those heater hoses over there. So I'm gonna time lapse that for you guys real quick. There's just nothing to it. I mean, they basically just, I could show you one here, but essentially they just plug right in, snap right into place. So no big deal, just got 8 of them. I'll do that real quick and time lapse it. Okay guys, I want to show you a little tip that a problem I ran into here, and this is kind of a tip to get around it in case you run into this. But I was trying to put the heater hoses on here, and you can see and what I did was I basically put them on the wrong one. I was having trouble with fitment. You know, this bottom one you can see is way far back, top one's way far further, and they should be the opposite. And I'm going to show you actually right over here with some new old stock. So this is the coolant rail that came off of my old intake, so that's why I have it here. But check this out. This is Ford Motorsport original heater hoses, new old stock, and they just happen to have them here. In case you didn't know, that's basically a big part of Fox Mustang restoration, is that they have tons of this new old stock, basically parts that Ford made and never got used. You could go to the service department back in the day and buy them brand new. So these are almost brand new, except they are several years old, but they're good parts. And yeah, I'm sweating in here. I actually had to turn the fan off so you guys could hear me a little bit, but this is how it's supposed to go. And I actually can show you on a car. I got these new old stock heater hoses, and then show you on the car over here, show you on Peaches what it looks like. You can see the routing there too. So it's a little dark over here, but you get the idea from that in the mock-up. So I'm getting hot and sweaty. I'm turning the fan back on. All right guys, and this is my old intake manifold here, but there is a crucial piece I need off of it, and that is the, I believe you call this the idle air control valve. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that off. It's just a couple of 8mm bolts, and I'm gonna transfer that to the new throttle body, which is right here. I actually got a BBK throttle body. This is a 70mm throttle body, and the reason why I'm not reusing this one, as you can see, this one's very nice. It's actually a 75, but I'm not going to use a 75 because the opening on the GT40 is just 70mm, so that's why we're going to use this one here, the 70mm. And by the way, this intake is going to be for sale if anybody wants it. This Victory EFI. Yeah, it's definitely going to be for sale. And if you want to buy it, hit me up on Instagram. Just DM me. I'm Gearhead704 on Instagram as well. So you can just DM me right there and I'll respond if you're interested in it. All right, guys, finally got those heater hoses on and clamped down. They're looking good. I was working on the fuel rails here and I wanted to kind of show you guys. Basically, you'll hear a click when they go in. This is just something to put on top for extra safety. But let's see if you guys can maybe hear the click on video. Let's see on this one. And it feels like I don't have the right orientation. Yeah, something's not quite right here because it's not turning like it should. I'm having trouble pushing this one in. Well, that is because these were actually not routed correctly. So I actually had to go back and disconnect the lower here again, which I just used, you know, these quick disconnect tools. I guess I moved that out of the way already. But anyway, disconnected that. And actually, in fact, I also had this on wrong as well. I had the clip part right there on the end. I had that on that side of it. It needs to be on this side of it, like so. Yeah, because that actually helps hold it on. So, all right, and I did put some dielectric grease on here for these O-rings. Actually, I need to rub that in just a little bit, but it allows them to slide in much more easily. So this one should slide in pretty easy now. I think I'm gonna be able to show you guys on camera this time. It's lined up. Oh, let's see if I can do this. Yeah, all right, now we gotta go till we hear the click. Let's see. There it is. Hopefully you guys heard that. I definitely heard it here. And we'll take our guy here and scoot it down. Yep, there we go. Fuel rails are on. And also, like you saw, I had my idle air control valve off. And it does have a gasket here, so we're gonna have to replace that, but that comes in the kit they have here at Fox Mustang Restoration. Hey guys, we were just mocking up the upper intake, which means it's the first time I'm seeing the upper intake on the car, and check this out. Doesn't that just look pretty? That intake looks much better. Don't you think it looks good, Matt?
I love that intake. That's my favorite intake.
Yeah. So we did put the throttle body here, and it was actually conflicting. The heater tube's in the way. So we need the EGR spacer here to bring it out. Yeah, I'm still breaking more gloves. But yeah, that intake looks, I don't care if it has as much power or not, it looks good.
Yeah. That is it's simply for aesthetics. That is my favorite intake.
Yeah. It looks.
I don't think there's any better looking intake for the
Yeah, and of course when we actually bolt it down, this stuff will be out of the way. It'll look even better.
Right.
So, yeah, the paint job doesn't look too bad.
Not at all. All right, these studs, I'm going to show you a little trick to getting these out.
All right.
See how I put that nut on backwards?
Yeah. Do that. Okay.
Put this nut on regular.
Ah.
Watch this.
All right.
You tighten these two up together. It helps when you have the right size wrench.
We won't tell anybody.
There you go. So as you tighten these two up together.
Yeah.
And then on the back one, you just go like this.
Oh.
There you go.
Easy peasy.
And then to get them out, you just undo them. And then do it to the next one.
Okay.
That's how you remove studs without a stud remover.
So now I'll try what Matt made look very easy. valve system. It comes like this, and we don't need this part because this is for a carbureted setup. So, oh, it almost knocked the intake off. That would have not been good. All right, I had trouble getting this fitting on, so I'm gonna use some dielectric grease on this side. Go ahead and stick the PCV valves in, and should be able to drop it, obviously, into that back grommet. Yeah.
So you just got to get past that lip.
And that was what I was tearing into.
Yeah, you were pressing it into. You're actually trying to die cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may have been getting tired when your arm, when you start to fatigue out. It just won't do what you want it to do.
Yeah. Guys, it's time to put the intake on, the upper intake. So we've got our new gasket here, which again, they sell at Fox Mustang Restorations. Let me pick you guys up and show you. So here's the gasket.
Yep. Gasket only goes on one way.
Right, yeah. We flip it over, it doesn't work. Flip it this way, doesn't work. So basically, it just works like that. Got a torque wrench, and this has to be torqued to a spec, so I'm gonna go ahead and try that. All right, the intake is bolted down now to torque specs, 12 to 15 foot-pounds. And I'm gonna work on some of the wiring harness here. I had a few things unplugged still to make sure that that's all good. We are putting the throttle cable on. You even see, there we go. All right, guys, we're putting the throttle cable on right now. I've already hooked it in down here and just got my 2 bolts. Idle air control valve, which does have a gasket, new gasket for it. All right, so recap where we are at. Basically getting all the vacuum lines hooked up. There's still a couple back there behind the intake I haven't done yet. I have done the one to the fuel pressure regulator. This hose wasn't long enough. The one for my old intake I couldn't use, so we're basically having to get parts for just about everything here. Really slowing us down, but we're getting there. We're getting there. I want to hear it fire. We'll see. It's getting really late, guys. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and plug in the cold air intake on. And there it is. Didn't want to bore you guys with that. All right, guys, I don't know if you normally change the O-ring when you take the distributor out, but we are, because this is the old one. I mean, it broke apart. It's hard. It's not pliable at all. And gonna put some, of course, say it with me, dielectric grease on this, and put it on here. I got the new one. This is right where it was, in case you didn't know. Then drop it in the distributor, and one step closer. All right, so we got the distributor back on. Timing is not set yet, so it's still a little loose, as you can see, but yeah, all the cables are down. We got to put new coolant in it, because you guys probably remember from the very first video, we drained all the coolant, and we got to change the oil because we got some oil in the coolant when we removed the intake manifold. Just a little bit, not a lot, but it's a good idea to go ahead and change it. So putting coolant in now, and then in theory, I think we should be able to fire it up. This is pretty neat what Matt's using to, what, you gonna put the coolant in with that? Is that keeping pressure on the system? Or?
What it does is it puts vacuum into the system. It actually uses the airflow of compressed air next through a venturi, which then creates a vacuum, same way a carburetor works. Okay. And then it actually sucks all the air, or the majority of the air, out of the cooling system. The hoses will actually collapse. And putting it under a vacuum removes the air. You actually have a void. It's like outer space. There's no air in there. Okay. So where there is a void, where there's no coolant and no air, there's vacuum. So that will pull, when we open this valve, that vacuum will pull coolant out of the valve and displace the vacuum part inside the motor with liquid coolant. So you don't have to go through a long burping process and shut the motor off, let it cool down, let it burp through the bottle, then take it down the road.
Oh, I've done that before. I hate that. Yeah.
Right. This eliminates that.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
That is awesome.
You ready?
Yep.
There we go.
Oh yeah, check that out. Oh dude, that's awesome. That's pretty cool. I've never seen anything like that.
Sucks it in.
Oh. Well, that's a cool way to fill it.
Yeah. Watch the hose.
Yeah, it's expanding.
Yep.
All right, guys, we're gonna try and start it up, see if it'll fire. So here we go. Go ahead.
Try it again. Oh, it's too far. Try it there.
All right, guys, so we got to set the timing. Timing's not right, so that's what we're working on right now. I'm actually going to try to set the timing myself. I haven't done that in like, I don't know, 14 years, so should be fun, but yeah, hopefully I don't get electrocuted.
Where's it flashing at?
30, I think. Almost right on 10. That's about 10. I might just... Yeah, guys, listen, man. She's running pretty good. She still needs a tune, but I haven't heard that cam chop in a long time. Got a 160-degree thermostat now, by the way, so it's already opened up. It's already opened up. That's awesome. Yeah, I put a car together and it's not blowing up right now. What is going on? Guys, we're wrapping up here super late. I mean, super late. What time is it, man? It's like 1:30 in the morning. Yeah. So huge shout out and thanks to Matt over here for helping me along with everything. Appreciate it, bro. You know, I can say that I said 95% last time. I'm gonna go down to 92%. You helped in a little bit more tonight and I appreciate that. But I'm learning. It looks great, and definitely if you guys need parts for your FoxBody, check him out if you haven't already. I mean, they got tons of stuff. You see this whole warehouse here, so check them out. New, old stock, all those links are down in the description below, but definitely you guys check them out. If you do check them out, I have a promo code Gearhead704. Use that, or let them know you found it through me. You know, I'd really appreciate that. All right, guys, you did hear the car crank up and it's running okay. So the only thing is I do need to get it tuned. I will have a separate video on that, but I need to change the oil as well. Not going to bore you guys with that. I'm going to do that another time, and we are going to pressure test it. We do think there might still be a coolant leak somewhere, so we're going to do a pressure test. But yeah, I mean, the intake is on. I think it looks really good, and I feel pretty good that I actually did the work. So next video should be focusing more on SSP content. I don't think we're going to do a lot more with the convertible. Intake's on. We'll get the tune video, obviously, but that's going to be at least almost 2 weeks for me, so I'll have some other content for you guys. If you did enjoy this video, though, or these series of videos, please hit the like button. Really appreciate it, and if you haven't subscribed already, I'd appreciate that. If you do so, it helps me out a lot. But you guys are great, and we'll see you next time on Gearhead 704.